We provide a variety of services to our community. We have a child care facility called Children's Village. We also are in contract with the Department of Child Services. We provide home-based therapy, counseling, casework. We are subcontracted with SCAN to provide Network for Safe Families. Our reach is actually beyond just Allen County. We serve in Kosciuszko County, St. Joe County, and we have an adoption program. We're happy to actually be here for Concordia, and we have been providing psychological first aid with a team of counselors. We've partnered with the school administration, their staff, their guidance department, as well as pastors together to make sure that the students know we're here for them, we're caring for them. We're here to provide a safe refuge, a place where they can come and sit quietly and know that they're cared for and be with us, or a place where they can talk about what they're experiencing and what they're feeling. Last week we had a student death and then a student injury back to back, and so it definitely took the student body and community by surprise here. I mean, it's tragic. And they were experiencing that loss and coming together as a community, caring for each other. It's been a tremendous positive to see the love that the students have for one another, that the staff and the administration have, the acknowledgement of loss, the acknowledgement of the grieving that's occurring, and the general feeling of support all around for the students and the families. I've been so impressed to see the acknowledgement. It's crucial, I think, in our society, in our culture. We're very quick to move on, and that's not easy in the grieving process for many of us. It takes time. So it's incredibly important to acknowledge the loss. It's important to acknowledge the life, the gift of that life, and the contribution. And it's important that we get to do that together, that we get to come together, that we get to mourn together and grieve together, and just express that and support each other through that. That's definitely been one of the things that we've been talking about with students, is that each of us grieve differently. We have a different way that we approach that. And we've had training here locally in our community by Dr. Alan Wolfelt. And one of the things that I love that he talks about is that we dose ourselves with our grief. And so we've been talking about developing tolerance for the way that each of us grieves. For some, it might be outright sorrowfulness, crying, obvious sadness. For others, it could be an irritability, anger even, and for others, it could be slower. They could feel more withdrawn, that it takes time. We've also talked about that in that dosing process, sometimes we have grief bursts, outpouring of obvious grief, and other times we are laughing and happy, and we can have moments of joy, and all that's okay. It doesn't mean that we're dishonoring our friends, that we are that we're not acknowledging the contribution that their life had and an impact on our lives, or that we're dismissing that in any way. That it's okay. It's okay to have moments of being normal, of being a kid, and then sometimes we're going to cry. We're going to have a range of emotions. This would probably be the largest magnitude that I've seen, that I've responded to. I know and we've had disaster before, but so close together, such tragic losses, injury. This is huge. This is big for this community. I've said it so much. I'm so impressed with the leadership at Concordia Lutheran High School, the way that they've approached this. They've approached it with open arms, very directly, very lovingly, full of acknowledgement, full of understanding and support, and yet are striking a balance at the day-to-day life of school and the work at hand. I'm impressed with the way that they're handling it. My heart goes out to all the parents, especially the parents that have suffered the greatest loss. For parents that have kids that are close to this, that are impacted by this in any way. I think it's normal first for parents to feel a little more anxious during times like this. And it's really normal for them to want to have more contact, be texting more often. Are you okay? Where are you? Know where they are. It's normal to maybe be a little bit stricter or want to have more supervision. I think it's important with adolescents to let them know, to help them understand that this is a normal reaction by parents, that this is temporary, if that's the direction that they're going. But I also think it's important to be together as a family, to be in conversation, that our teens or children might not be ready to talk, but it's important that they know that we're there for them, that we're there, we're ready when they're ready to talk. I don't think that we need to pull out details if they're not ready, but it is important that we let them know that we're there as a support. It's also okay to go try and do something fun if they're interested. It's okay to have times to play a game, to have times where we take our mind off it, that we go do something. I think being together as a family and being an extra love and support and encouragement is really crucial during these times. I think we've seen it impact in so many different ways. There's the instant replay of the last interaction that the teen may have experienced with their friend. It's the what ifs that our teens are going through a really tough time with just feeling guilty or feeling like they should have done something different. And while that's a normal response, we've encouraged them that they couldn't have known, that's not their responsibility. They're worried for each other. They are worried about their own futures. You know, some of them are experiencing that. So I think it's important to know that they're going through a wide variety of normal reactions, and that it is normal to experience all of these, and that they will resolve themselves in time. If they don't, I think it's important to be on the lookout for those warning signs and get help. Contact 211 if you're concerned, especially if we're seeing being more withdrawn, more isolated, high-risk behavior that you're concerned about, or if the duration of what you're seeing is lasting maybe longer than 3 weeks or more, 4 weeks. Contact 211 for resources. There's also Erin's House. And then if parents want to go online, I've been using a lot of the material from the National Child Traumatic Stress Network.